Good afternoon, sir. Other way, please tell me your full name and your date of birth.
I'm so sorry. I thought it was a computer. I thought it was on the video screen. I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay.
How are you?
Okay. I'm good. Please tell me your full name and your date of birth.
Yeah, no problem. Johnny William Odell.
Thank you, sir. I have you here on a new case. You're arrested on one allegation of aggravated assault, which is a Class 5 felony, and one allegation of resisting arrest, a Class 1 misdemeanor.
Yeah.
I have found probable cause to support those allegations, and I'm appointing an attorney to assist you.
Sure.
You'll have court on October 14th and October 17th at 8:30 in the morning in the downtown Superior Court. You have a $1,000 secured appearance bond, and I'm ordering that you comply with all of the written instructions in your paperwork. Do you understand everything I've told you?
I think, so the $1,000 is the 10% or the $1,000 I have to have $1,000 cash?
So it can be 10%. $1,000 secured means you can use a bonding company. It's ultimately up to the bonding company to make a determination as to what type of percentage you'd have to pay. Typically, it's 10%, though.
Okay, thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
Shante Manny, and then Eligio Zamora to the chair, please. Good afternoon. Please tell me your full name and your date of birth.
Shante and Manny.
I have you here on a direct complaint warrant. A direct complaint has been filed, charging you with 2 counts of aggravated driving under the influence, which are Class 4 felonies, alleged to have occurred on or about August 12th of 2021. I'm appointing you an attorney, and you'll have court on October 14th and October 17th at 8:30 in the morning in the downtown Superior Court. You have a $2,000 secured appearance bond. I'm also ordering that should you post that bond, that you participate in drug and alcohol testing and monitoring under the supervision of pretrial services. I'm also ordering that you comply with all of the written instructions in your paperwork. It's going to include that you're not to possess or consume any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription, and you're not to drive a motor vehicle under any circumstances. Do you understand everything I've told you?
Yes.
Any questions?
Yes. For the court date back in August, I didn't receive an email or a letter in the mail for that date, so I was completely unaware of that.
Okay. It looks like you told the officers you knew you had a warrant.
No, I didn't. So what happened yesterday, I had a probation call with my probation officer, Jose, and he had told me that I had a warrant, and I asked him what was it about, and he said, in Maricopa, you had a court date on the 15th, and I was like, I wasn't aware of that. I know I went to court back in like June or July, and they had dismissed the case, but they told me that that it could possibly like reopen. But I didn't receive a letter or an email, because normally I do, because I've been going to court for that prior.
Okay, do me a favor, go ahead and take a seat. I'll call you back up in just a moment. In the gallery. I'll call you back up at the end of the calendar. Okay. Eligio Zamora and then Ashley Merlina to the chair, please. Good afternoon. Please tell me your full name and your date of birth.
Eligio Tommy Zamora Jr.
Thank you. I have you here on 2 probation violation matters. In each case, a petition to revoke your probation has been filed. I'm appointing you an attorney, and you'll have court on October 15th at 8:30 in the morning in the downtown Superior Court. In each matter, you have a $1,000 secured appearance bond, so your total bond is $2,000 secured appearance. I'm also ordering that you comply with all of the written instructions in your paperwork. It's going to include that should you post your bond and be released, you need to contact your probation officer within 72 hours of your release from custody. Do you understand everything I've told you?
I do. I was wondering why I have bond. Why is OR not available? Because I don't know if I have any failure to appears in my record.
The reason that I'm not releasing you on your own recognizance is the allegation here is that you already released into the community under the court's supervision on probation, and that you weren't compliant. They're alleging that you didn't report as directed on multiple occasions, that the last time you reported was back in August, that you didn't provide access to your home, that your whereabouts have been unknown for some time, and that you didn't participate in drug testing and monitoring as directed. And so for those reasons, I don't find it appropriate to release you on your own recognizance, because you were essentially already released under the court supervision and weren't compliant. Any other questions?
Yeah, I was just wondering if I could have a chance at being OR'd so I can get into a program.
Not right now. You can talk to your probation judge about that.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Good afternoon, counsel. Which numbers are you here for?
Hi, Your Honor, just number, I believe, 5.
Oh, the one with the attorney?
Yes.
Okay, so he called in and said he's stuck in traffic, but is en route. So just to let you know, it might be a minute.
Oh, okay.
All right.
All right.
Oh, let's see. Maybe he's joining us virtually. Do we have counsel for Mr. Baton here? Mr. Luter,
Yeah,
can
I'm
you
here,
hear
Your
me?
Honor. I'm actually in the lobby. Can you guys wait like 30 seconds and I'll be right in?
Oh, sure. No problem.
Objection.
All right, thank you.
All right. While we're waiting for Mr. Luter, can I see Ashley Merlina, please? And then we'll get Shanli Dell to the chair, please. Good afternoon. Please tell me your full name and your date of birth.
Ashley Merlina, 10.
Thank you. I have you here on a bench warrant out of Superior Court in 2 separate matters for failing to appear at your court dates. And those matters, you'll have court on October 14th and October 17th at 8:30 in the morning in the downtown Superior Court. In each one of those matters, you have a $2,000 secured appearance bond. And then you're also here on a warrant out of the University Lakes Justice Court for failing to appear in your case there. In that case, you'll have court on October 15th at 8:30 in the morning, and you have a $50 bond. So your total bond is $4,050 secured appearance. I'm also ordering that you comply with all of the written orders that you'll find in your paperwork. Do you understand everything I've told you?
Your Honor, there's no possible way I could ever afford that high of a bond. Is there any way you could possibly reduce it? I have staph on my hand right here, like really bad. I need to get back to the hospital, and there's like no way I could come up with $4,000.
All right, I'm not going to reduce your bond because the information that I can see previously is that you posted $1,000 in bond and failed to appear. So I'm not going to release you with a lesser bond at this time.
My father died the day after I was released, and then my mom killed herself the next day, and I just went through a lot of, that's not going to happen this time. I can promise you I will comply with everything. I just went through a lot.
I'm really sorry to hear about your loss. I know how difficult that can be. I'm not going to release you. The Form 4, the arresting officers indicated that you weren't forthcoming with who you were, that you initially provided a false name, and then once they identified you, you tried to actually flee on foot. So I don't find it appropriate to reduce your bond at this time. There's medical staff here that will treat any issues that you might have, okay? So go ahead and step to your left. Shanli Dell, and then Daniel Zanagos to the chair, please. Counsel, do you need a minute to chat with your client? I would love that. Okay, no problem. Good afternoon. Please tell me your full name and your date of birth.
Shanley Dill.
I have you here on a new case. You're arrested on 1 allegation of unlawful flight, a Class 5 felony, 2 allegations of driving under the influence, Class 1 misdemeanors, and 1 allegation of extreme driving under the influence of Class 1 misdemeanor. I have found probable cause to support those allegations, and I'm appointing you an attorney. You'll have court on October 14th and October 17th at 8:30 in the morning in the downtown Superior Court. You have a $2,500 secured appearance bond, and I'm ordering that should you post that bond and be released, you need to participate in drug and alcohol testing and monitoring under the supervision of pretrial services. I'm also ordering that you comply with all of the written instructions in your paperwork. It's going to include that you're not to possess or consume any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription, and you're not to drive a motor vehicle under any circumstances. Do you understand everything I've told you? Any questions, ma'am?
No.
All right, thanks, ma'am. If you can step to your left. Daniel Denagos, and then Andrew Maniver to the chair, please. Good afternoon, sir. Please tell me your full name and your date of birth.
Daniel Moriashi Daniegos.
Thank you. I have you here on a new case. You're arrested on 1 allegation of interfering with judicial proceedings, a Class 1 misdemeanor. I have found probable cause to support those allegations, and I'm appointing you an attorney. You'll have court on October 11th at 8:30 in the morning in the Kyrene Justice Court. You have a $500 secured appearance bond, and I'm ordering that you comply with all of the written instructions in your paperwork. It's going to include that that you're not to return to the scene of any alleged crime or have contact with any alleged victim or witness. You're not possessing weapons, and you must obey any terms of any orders of protection that have been issued or may be issued.
Ma'am,
Do you understand everything I've told you, sir?
Yeah. There's no way to OR. I'm not on any type of probation, no type of parole. I have work. I have a lot of things going. Like, please, ma'am, it's a misdemeanor charge. Can I please get it?
It is a misdemeanor charge, but you were just arrested on a domestic violence charge and told not to have contact with the alleged victim?
I was just trying to get my stuff.
Hold on one second. You were told not to have contact with the alleged victim, and then the allegations are that you directly violated that court order and had contact with that alleged victim. So that's why I set the bond in the amount that I've set it at. So go ahead and step to your left. Make sure you get your paperwork, okay? Thank you, sir. Andrew Manivar, and then Suzanne Wilcox to the chair, please. Good afternoon. Please tell me your full name and your date of birth.
Andrew David Mensvar.
Thank you, and I apologize for mispronouncing your name. I have you here on a new case. You're arrested on one allegation of resisting arrest, a Class 6 felony, and one allegation of criminal trespassing, a Class 1 misdemeanor. I have found probable cause to support those allegations, and I'm appointing you an attorney. You'll have court on October 23rd and October 25th at 8:30 in the morning in the downtown Superior Court. I'm planning on releasing you in this matter to the supervision of pretrial services. That means you're going to be released in this case, and you'll receive an envelope with your paperwork. That envelope is going to have instructions on what you need to do in order to comply with pretrial services. It'll also have some important things inside, like a bus pass, to try to help make sure that you can get to court. If you fail to comply or you fail to appear at court, a warrant can issue for your arrest. Do you promise to go to your court date?
Yes.
Any questions?
No.
All right, thanks, sir. You can step to your left. Suzanne Wilcox, and then Thomas Bruce, please. All right, ma'am, please tell me your full name and your date of birth.
Suzanne Wilcox, 7.
Thank you. I have you here on a new case. You're arrested on one allegation of disorderly conduct, a Class 1 misdemeanor, and one allegation of criminal damage, a Class 2 misdemeanor. I have found probable cause to support those allegations, and I'm appointing you an attorney. You'll have court on October 24th at 9 o'clock in the morning in the Peoria Municipal Court. I'm planning to release you on your own recognizance, which means I will release you as long as you promise to go to court and comply with the written instructions in your paperwork. Those instructions will include that you're not to return to the scene of the alleged crime or have any contact with any alleged victim or witness. You're not to possess any weapons, and you must obey any terms of any orders of protection that have been issued or may be issued. You may not reside with the alleged victim, even if you are the owner or renter of the property. You are allowed one civil standby with a local law enforcement officer to return to the property in order to collect your essential belongings. Any violation of this no victim contact order, even if the alleged victim wants to have contact with you, could constitute you being charged with a separate felony offense. Do you understand everything I've told you?
Yes.
If you fail to appear or you fail to comply, a warrant can issue for your arrest. Do you promise to go to your court date?
Yes.
Any questions?
Yes. Is that the one on in Surprise? Is that the courthouse in Surprise?
It is it's in Peoria.
Okay.
The address will be on your paperwork.
That's way closer than downtown, so thank you for that.
No problem. Do you have any other questions? All right. Thanks, ma'am. You can step to your left. Thomas Ruth, and then Chad Denzer to the chair, please. Good afternoon, sir. Please tell me your full name and your date of birth.
Thomas Patrick Jr.
Thank you. I have you here on a warrant out of the Hacienda Justice Court for failing to pay fines or fees in a driving on suspended license matter there. You're going to have court on October 23rd at 9 o'clock in the morning in the Hacienda Justice Court, and I'm planning to release you on your own recognizance, which means I'll release you as long as you promise to go to court and follow the written instructions in your paperwork.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. If you fail to do either one, a warrant can issue for your arrest. Do you promise to go to court?
Yeah, I just started getting my life straight, so.
All right, great. Any questions?
Not right now.
All right, thanks, sir. You can step to your left.
All right.
Chad Denzer, and then Shante Manning again, please. Good afternoon, sir. Please tell me your full name and your date of birth.
It's Chad Michael Denzer.
All right, thanks, sir. So I have you here on a warrant out of the Snowflake Justice Court, which is in another county, and it kind of looks to me, based on the docket, like You initially, that's back up in Navajo County. It looks like you were arrested back in 2012 on some domestic violence offenses, misdemeanor domestic violence offenses. It looks like those offenses were resolved and that they're alleging that you either didn't pay your fines and fees or weren't compliant in some way with your plea agreement. The best I can tell from the docket is that it looks like they tried to send you notice of a warrant being issued, but it looks like you had mail that was returned.
Yeah, what happened is they sentenced me after the whole domestic things. They gave me, I think it was 16 hours of anger management classes, but Heber's a really small town, so I had to go to Snowflake to take the anger management classes. It was middle of winter, and I didn't have a vehicle, and Snowflake is like 28 miles away. So I literally paid my friends to drive me there, and then they sat in their car for an hour while I went to class, and then I came and paid them to take me home, but it's like 56 miles round trip, and it winters and construction work is slow. I just couldn't go. And then what happened is I moved down to here, and because work was slow, and moved down to here, and I just kind of forgot about those classes. I know I went to quite a few of them, and I just have to go to a few more of those anger management classes, and that's why they issued the arrest.
Yeah. So it looks like it's from back in 2016, and like I said, it looks like they tried to mail you notice of your court date, and it got returned. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm just going to set your court date on October 11th at 8:30 in the morning. I'm going to plan to release you as long as you can get up there. Can you get up to the Snowflake Justice Court for a court on the 11th?
I have to go clear to Snowflake? Yeesh. Yeah. It's on the 11th. When's the 11th?
In 2 days, on Friday.
Crap. Yeah, I can make it.
All right. If you don't make it, then a warrant will issue for your arrest, and you'll likely be held in custody.
Right.
So you'll have court on October 11th at 8:30 in the morning. Make sure you get up there and get it resolved. You might even be able to call them and see if you can do anything before the 11th to get it resolved so you don't have to go up there. But if you don't talk to them and get it resolved, you need to make sure that you get there on the 11th. If you fail to appear, a warrant will issue for your arrest.
Yeah, I'll definitely be on the phone with him as soon as I get out.
Yeah, all right. Otherwise, so I'll release you on your own recognizance. That means I'm releasing you on your promise to go to court and comply with all the written instructions. Like I've said, if you fail to do either of those things, a warrant can issue. Do you promise to go to your court date?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, any questions?
No.
All right, thanks, sir. You can step to your left. And then Shantae Manny. All right, just give me one moment, ma'am. Come here, please. All right, ma'am, please tell me your full name and your date of birth.
Shantae and Manny.
All right, so I looked back at your docket. You were indicating that you believe you didn't have notice of your hearing on the 15th. I do see that they tried to mail you a summons, but I don't see any confirmation that you were served, and it looks like at the next minute entry they indicated they didn't have a good address for you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to release you to the supervision of pretrial services. Your court dates will now be October 23rd and October 25th at 8:30 in the morning in the downtown Superior Court. What that means is you're going to receive an envelope. That envelope is going to have instructions on what you need to do in order to comply with pretrial services. It'll also have useful things like a bus pass to help make sure you can get to court. I'm also ordering that you participate in drug and alcohol testing and monitoring, and that you comply with all of the written orders in your paperwork. It's going to include that you're not to possess or consume any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription, and you're not to drive a motor vehicle under any circumstances. If you fail to comply or you fail to appear at court, a warrant can issue for your arrest. Do you promise to go to your court date?
Yes.
Any questions?
Am I able to give you my updated address here?
I think that they've got it from you already. Is it the 500 North Metro? Yeah.
Yeah, I've been there for the past 3 years.
Okay. Well, it looks like it's updated in here now, so hopefully we'll have it for the future.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. Any other questions?
No.
All right, thanks, ma'am. You can step to your left. All right, and then are we ready for number 5, Mr. Baton's matter?
We are.
Wonderful.
Thank you for your patience.
No problem. Perfect timing.
Oh.
All right, this is number 5 on the calendar, Neri Gomez-Baton. I'll take appearances from counsel, starting with counsel for the state, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. Stephen Garcia on behalf of the state. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Counsel for defense?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Christian Lewis on behalf of Mr. Batan, who is present with me at the podium.
Good afternoon. And sir, can you tell me your full name and your date of birth, please?
Neri Eduardo Gomez Bateng.
Thank you, sir, and I apologize for mispronouncing your name. All right, I have you here on a new case. You're arrested on 1 allegation of criminal damage, a Class 6 felony, and 1 allegation of assault, a Class 1 misdemeanor. I did review the Form 4 that was provided as it relates to probable cause. Would either counsel like to be heard first, just as it relates to probable cause? Counsel for the state?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Counsel for defense?
Not challenging probable cause, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. I have found probable cause to support those allegations. I did receive the limited notice of appearance from counsel, so out of an abundance of caution, I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent the defendant, should you not continue to represent him moving forward. And then I'd like to hear from both counsel regarding release conditions. Before I do that, I'll let you know that I reviewed the defendant's criminal history, or really lack thereof. I didn't notice anything substantial in his criminal history. I also reviewed the Form 4, and then I reviewed a written recommendation that was provided by the state. Defense counsel, did you get a chance to review that written recommendation?
I did, Your Honor.
All right, and then finally, I reviewed the pretrial risk assessment score, which is recommending a PSA risk assessment. All right, I'll start with counsel for the state, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. As you mentioned, we didn't have any criminal history of note, no known criminal history. The central concern here for the state is the safety of the victims. There's no indication that he necessarily would be a flight risk. But that being said, Your Honor, the behavior is definitely concerning. So we feel the $1,500 secured appearance bond would be appropriate. If you're inclined to allow him to be released, we would still ask that he would not be allowed to return to the scene, even though it does appear that he does reside there. Thank you.
Thank you, counsel. Counsel for defense.
Yeah, so with the criminal history, obviously there's nothing there. He's been in this country since 2006, working legally under a work permit or some legal documented status since that time. He's lived with Maria, the victim in this case, for the past 9 years, I believe. They have 2 children together. Obviously, this is going to be an ongoing family court matter. He does not oppose, obviously, not returning to the scene. I think everyone would agree that that's probably best for now. He does have somewhere to stay. He has a sister and 3 brothers and some cousins that live here in town, lots of family support, so he's going to be able to live with one of them for now. He's had a steady job for years. The guy that hired us today, Joseph Alvarado, is his boss, but Mr. Batan is a man of pretty meager means. Setting any kind of bond in this case is going to be tough for him to make bail to get out of here. So I am asking for OR release. Of course, we're okay with not returning to the scene or having any victim contact for now, pending family court action, obviously. That's all, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. So the court's main concern here is the allegation that there was a use of a dumbbell, which obviously, depending on how that is utilized, could be incredibly dangerous. That being said, I recognize the defendant's lack of any criminal history, his job, his family support. So I'm going to release him to the supervision of pretrial services with an electronic ankle monitoring device. I'm going to order that he not return to the scene of the alleged crime, that he comply with all of the other written orders. It's going to include, sir, that you can't have any contact with the alleged victim. You're also not to possess any weapons. You must obey any terms of any orders of protection that have been issued or may be issued. You cannot reside with the alleged victim, even if you're the owner or renter of that property. You are allowed a civil standby to return to the property if you need to collect your essential belongings. Your next court dates will be October 23rd and October 25th at 8:30 in the morning in the downtown Superior Court. Counsel, if those dates don't work for you, I can't change them, but you can reach out to that division.
Thank you.
Anything further from counsel for the state?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Counsel for defense.
So just PTS and electronic monitoring with the rest of that?
Correct.
Okay.
I am setting a curfew, but that'll be up to pretrial services to set the times and restrictions. They usually also set a restriction around the victim home.
Okay, thank you. And can I just have a minute with him after we're done?
Sure, and then we'll get you a copy.
Perfect, thank you.
All right, thank you.